I hate to be the bearer of bad news, folks, but I know we opened this episode with bad news, and unfortunately, like the lost jet, that's kind of bad news for the people involved. But more bad news keeps coming out, and with the celebrity divorces, which we'll get to in a minute. I mean, things are just not looking good in the world. Joe Exotic is single, and as Joe Exotic, he's been a dude magnet. You know what I mean? Ever since he got to federal prison, back in 2020, for his murder for hire scheme, which he was still convicted and sentenced to 22 years in prison. Can you believe that Joe Exotic is still in jail and has been sentenced to 22 years in prison? Can you just can we get this man out of jail? Can we get him out? Let's just keep a close eye on him, but let Joe Exotic out of jail, please. What did he do? Come on. What did Joe do? So, basically, Joe, you know what I mean? Joe's single, and, after a split from Dillon Passage in 2021, Joe held an online Bachelor King competition. You guys remember this, of course, accepting applications to be his new boyfriend, and his current, now obviously ex, Seth, applied and became the lucky winner. But the two broke up and then got back together. Okay, good. And in between, Joe briefly dated fellow inmate John Graham, who cut off the relationship after he was released from prison. Okay. So that's the full breakdown then. So if you weren't following there for a second, Joe Exotic was dating Dillon Passage, okay? But then in 2021, they broke up. It wasn't working out between Joe and Dillon. And so after Dillon and Joe broke up in 2021, Joe held a Bachelor TV show style online reality Bachelor Tiger King, Bachelor King competition. And within the applicants of that show was then his new lucky boyfriend, Seth. Now, in the beginning of Seth and Joe's relationship, it got a little rocky. It was a little rocky, okay? Not the movie, but the relationship. And they kind of broke up. They decided this wasn't going to work, and it turns out they broke up. During that month apart, Joe Exotic then dated his cellmate, John Graham. John Graham then got out of prison. John Graham then broke up with Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic then sought emotion and love and just caring because of how upset and broken he was from his then ex, Seth, the winner of the Bachelor King competition. So then they got back together. And it's been a high road ever since. It's been about a year and a half. It's been a minute. It's been a minute for Joe and Seth. And so, of course, we got the news, Joe Exotic's very public battle with prostate cancer, which has complicated matters within his relationship. So basically what had happened was just a few days ago, Joe Exotic had written a handwritten letter from his prison cell and sent it to TMZ and the What Are We Doing podcast. He wrote 2 copies, one to TMZ, one to us. We have a scan of the letter here. We don't have a scanner here at the podcast office, so our friends over at TMZ scanned in their copy. It's on the screen. You can see it there. I mean, none of this is fabricated whatsoever. The letter to TMZ, first of all, the fact that no one gives a shit about anything going on in Joe Exotic's life, whether Joe Exotic announces he's running for president, he's launching a Bachelor-style dating reality competition, whether he's got a new boyfriend, whether he's got an ex-boyfriend, whether he's got another new boyfriend, whether he's with his old boyfriend again, no one gives a shit. So he has to now pen handwritten letters via pencil, I think, because I don't think they'll give him a pen. Pencil and paper, and then he has to physically mail them to TMZ and other news networks just to get the latest tea, the latest tea, whatever is happening in Joe Exotic's life, he has to deliver via the mail from his jail cell. And it's one of the greatest things. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Please, ladies and gentlemen, rest assured, if anything ever goes wrong in my life and I end up in prison, I will continue to do whatever I need to do for this podcast to run it on a weekly basis. And if that means write it all down and send the transcript of the podcast to someone here on the outside, and they'll just reiterate and read my letters on this podcast for the audio feed, then so be it. So be it. The letter reads, before the rumors start, Seth Posey and I have mutually decided to split up. Already, the first sentence, already out the jail cell, the first sentence is, before the rumors start, Seth Posey and I have mutually decided to split up. As if poor Joe Exotic thinks that Seth Posey is out here going to, Oprah, TMZ, the New York Post, the Daily Wire, the Washington Post, every single Perez Hilton, every single meaningful online, the What Are We Doing podcast, meaningful online media company spreading rumors and lies about how they broke up. I love it. I love it. I love that Joe Exotic still thinks he's number one in the public eye of America. And if this letter doesn't prove that wholeheartedly, before the rumors start, Seth Posey and I have decided to mutually split up. The public pressure is more than he knows how to deal with, and I need someone more supportive that can help get me home. Well, that right there. Look, if I was in prison and I knew for a fact, and pretty much 99.9% of America, let alone the world, knew I was innocent and should not be in jail, and Megs, wasn't doing everything that she needed to do to get me out of jail on a daily basis, I might contemplate our relationship as well. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So the public pressure got to Seth. It's unfortunate, but being the spouse of a celebrity, Megs will testify wholeheartedly, being the spouse of a celebrity is a very hard and high pressure job. Seth was there to answer the phone for our 2 years and helped me mentally fight cancer. So I have nothing to say about him that would be bad or hurt his character. Seth picked up the phone for their 2-year anniversary and helped Joe Exotic fight his prostate cancer. Therefore, Joe has concluded he will no longer be speaking ill will of Seth or saying anything bad about him. You know what I mean? He's a good guy. Seth's a good guy. The letter continues. He has a long, hard road ahead of him in life to get on board with the fact that the world does not owe him. He will learn that he owes the world. Honesty, respect, and giving back is God's plan to succeed at anything. If that isn't the truest state, if you don't go to the tattoo parlor right now and get that quote, Joe Exotic quote, tattooed on your body somewhere, I'll read it again. He has a long, hard road ahead of him in life to get on board with the fact that the world does not owe him. He will learn that he owes the world. Honesty, respect, and giving back is God's plan to succeed at anything. Send that. Clip that. Send it to someone you know, dude. You can send it to someone. Send it to someone if the shoe fits. Send it to someone you know, because they've got a long road ahead of them to understand that the world doesn't owe you shit. His mother was amazing to me, and I wish him, his son, and his mom well in their journey. Someone older, much more mature, and supportive will be here, part of my life soon. That I am sure will come to light as everything else does. God bless, Joe Exotic. The handwriting gets a little fuzzy at the end, But basically, Joe's already got someone more mature and someone more supportive lined up for the spot of, Tiger Princess. So, and then it's signed Love Always Joe Exotic. I mean, the poor man just needs any ounce of attention. So if you could please just give this video, give this podcast, give this clip, whatever you're watching, the short, the form, give it a like. And just, if you could donate to, I think you can go to joeexotic.com and donate any money you have, not to the people of Maui, but to the Joe Exotic, free Joe Exotic of Prison Fund and his 2024 campaign race, and just everything that he needs to survive and to get Joe out of prison. There's no way Joe can stay in jail for another 22 years. So every view, every like, every click, every ounce, every penny, every dollar helps the Joe Exotic Fund. I mean, if you could just share this video, I mean, everything, every eyeball to get Joe Exotic out of prison is the number one goal of America. We thought maybe in 2019 to 2020, Trump was going to give him a presidential pardon. He wrote a very convincing letter. Unfortunately, it did not go through to the right people. So we're still hoping and we're still praying that Joe Exotic gets out of prison sooner rather than later, based on, his love life and this kind letter that he wrote, keeping us updated on what's going on.